We begin today in Utah, which this week became the first U.S. state to ban the use of fluoride in public water. Fluoride is a natural occurring mineral that can be found in soil, plants, and food in tiny amounts. And studies show that at optional levels, it helps prevent tooth decay, helps prevent cavities. The U.S. has added it to public drinking water systems since the 1940s to improve dental health, and the practice is considered to be one of the most greatest public health achievements of the last century. But it's created some contretemps, with debates over adding fluoride to public water ramping up. And some states like Florida are following the Utah's footsteps to pass laws to ban it. Those in favor of banning fluoride in drinking water point to research that shows consumption of high levels of fluoride could cause adverse health effects in children. But exposure to levels that concentrated are rarely seen in the U.S. proponents of the ban add that when it comes to fluoride improving dental health, evidence is mixed, and some studies find that our modern dental hygiene routines like brushing and flushing regularly have had more of an impact than fluoride in drinking water. Other advocates of the ban acknowledge that fluoride doesn't have benefits, but people should have the individual choice to not have it added to their drinking water. Our Meg Terrell is here to explain. Hi, Meg. Well, Koi, fluoride is being added to public drinking water systems since the 1940s in the United States because it helps strengthen our teeth enamel and helps prevent cavities. And in fact, the CDC has called this one of the top 10 public health interventions of the last century because it does this so well. Dentists have called this one of the frontline defenses really against cavities, and they like this approach so much because it can help so it really creates a baseline sort of defense for oral health. About 2/3 of the U.S. population currently has fluoridated public drinking water. But of course that's starting to change. We're starting to states start to ban adding fluoridated water, starting with Utah, perhaps Florida, and others as well. And the concerns that really have been around fluoride's potential to affect brain development at higher levels than is recommended in the U.S. drinking water systems. And experts point out that we haven't seen these risks at the low levels recommended to adding to U.S. drinking water. So dentists are pretty concerned about the fact that fluoride may be removed from drinking water systems, and they emphasize that it's really important to brush with fluoride toothpaste. See your dentist regularly and of course have those good brushing habits to keep our smiles straight. Now to one of the most biggest pop culture moments in this news this week. The Met Gala at New York Metropolitan Museum of Art. Celebs like Rihanna, Bad Bunny, Janelle Monáe, Simone Biles, and many more rocking the blue carpet in many costume looks. Hat tip to Outkast Andre 3000 for sporting an entire piano. He looks like a Brolica Keys out there, but the very inclusive Met Gala isn't just extravagant fashion show. It's a major fundraiser for the Museum Costume Institute, which is a time capsule of sorts of fashion with more than 33,000 pieces dating back to the 15th century. Each year there's a theme that parallels one of the exhibits, and this year's theme is tailored for you. The exhibit explores styles from the early 1900s Harlem Renaissance movement called Black Dancing, known for wide shoulders, high-waisted suits popularized during the time. 10-second trivia. What is the oldest operating airline in the world? Avica, KLM, Finnair, or United? If you said KLM, you are correct. The Dutch national airline formed in 1990s, taking their first flight in 1920 from London to Amsterdam, carrying to a journalist a letter from the mayor of London to his counterpart of Amsterdam, and a stack of newspapers. Alright, who you'll fly on a plane that flies itself? We'll cover the rapid advancements of self-driving cars and taxis and posted questions about how you feel about those. Now we may be a step closer to air travelers having their planes operate without a human pilot at the helm. Our aviation correspondent Pete Monnet shows us a new development in aviation, an automated landing function for small planes, built with the goal of saving lives in an emergency. Control freak Pete is like, is this going to be okay? I'm about to go fly in a plane that can land itself. He answers the age-old question. What happens if your pilot can't fly anymore? That's it. That's the button. It's red. It's very eye-catching. It's red. Yes, it's an emergency system. That system is called Safe Return Autoland, meant to save passengers with no flying experience if the pilot becomes incapacitated, which happens on private planes more than you think. Okay, so just do it. Okay, here we go. Now I'm along for the ride. Emergency Autoland activating. This is a demonstration by Cirrus Aircraft, which is now installing this in its entry-level planes with one engine and one pilot. So this is essentially an autonomous airplane now. Absolutely, this is the kind of weird for me. I know it is. Well, if you can think of it, like the autopilot is flying the airplane, but Safe Return system is acting as a pilot. Safe Return is now making all the judgment calls, flying around hazards, and lining up with the best runway. Throttle came down, hands up, feet up, and beautiful. Pretty good landing all told, and so those rigs are going to start engaging. Here we are right in the center line. The system brings the plane to a stop and even shuts down the engine. The latest safety innovation meant to save lives in the sky. Pretty impressive. That was fun, pretty cool. Nice job. Some of us might be doing a double take next time we walk down the toy aisle. Mattel, the makers of Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price, Polly Pocket, and other say prices are going to go up due to the recently announced 145 tariff placed on Chinese goods. 80% of the toys in the U.S. come from China. Did you know? So it was only makes sense that tariff would end up costing toy shoppers dollars and cents. This news is a microcosm of how many different types of business will be looking to adopt and stay profitable, and ultimately how consumers will be affected by unavoidable price increases with the new tariffs. When Mattel CEO Yoon Crisis didn't say exactly how much cost of the toys are going up, he said, say price adjustments are part of their plan to adopt. Our Venezia Uvich is here to tell us how this news might affect our Polly Pocketbooks and the toy makers' business decisions moving forward. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Koi. The toy company Mattel that makes Barbies and Polly Pockets says it's going to have a raise prices because of tariffs. The company said they're going to keep about 40 to 50% of the toys under $20. But the tariffs are going to cost the company $270 million this year. So Mattel is looking to relocate the manufacturing of 500 of their toys and out of China and other countries so they don't get charged that 145 tariff. Here in the United States, 80% of the toys we buy are manufactured in China. Mattel says 40% of the toys we make found that the cost of a Barbie doll with a swimsuit started to Target rose almost 43% in mid-April to $14.99. That is one of the biggest jumps that this group found. An Olympic athlete just received 10 medals on the same day. Monday, the International Olympic Committee awarded American swimmer Gary Hall Jr. replacement medals after his original ones were all burned up in the California wildfires earlier this year. 5 golds, 3 silvers, and 2 bronzes, which he won during the 3 Summer Olympics from 1996 through 2004. Los Angeles is slowly rebuilding what it can when it can. Some homeowning families are struggling with the insurance claims. Some families who are renting are still being forced to find residence elsewhere. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection estimates that Eaton and Palestine's fire in LA destroyed more than 16,000 structures, with total property damage estimated to be somewhere from 28 to 53 billion. Thank you for watching.